tuned in to www.oghuskyradio.com, broadcasting live from the east side of Los Angeles, worldwide, every Thursday night, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Your host, Barack Obama and DJ Top Rank live. Special guest, man. How far are you coming from, dog?
From K-Town.
That's a mission, dog. That's like Korea.
It is Koreatown.
Go ahead and introduce yourself, man.
My name's Gallo, make one.
Make one. So what, Gallo or make one? Which one first, man?
Gallo.
Yeah. And how did you get that name? That's your graff name? What's
that's my natural born name.
Yeah.
I'm a junior, so my dad was Gallo.
Word up, man. What crews, man, for make?
I represent several crews, man, but the ones I push the most: OTR, LOD, STN, AM7,
WCA,
AOS, TNT, UCA, ER, Everyday Ritual. Yeah, we get around. I mean, I get around.
How did you pick the crews, or how did, like, you know what I mean? Those are some heavy-hitting crews, dog. Like,
I've been blessed to been asked to be part of these crews. STN was started by Sign, Doc, and myself back in '85. But all the other crews, it's just I'm just sort of grandfathered in, basically.
Well, how many members, as a founding member of STN, how many members would you say are now?
It's pretty large. It's probably about 30. I lost count, but there's quite a few.
Once again, Instagram at lovegalo.
Lovegalo, yeah.
LOVEGALO. With that, man, the reason why I've been wanting to get you in here, but I was kind of waiting for everything to boil over, and I'm not one to, you know what I mean, to mess up an opportunity, but you're a curator out in Orange County, right? You're doing a show, LA Weekly wrote about it,
right.
And you're trying to feature hand styles. Talk a little bit about that, and then, I'll get into what I wanted to ask,
Yeah, I'm not a curator in Orange County per se, but I was invited to curate an exhibit at a museum in Anaheim.
Okay.
It's called Museo, and it's located on Anaheim and I think Broadway, I forgot.
Okay.
But yeah, I was invited back in August to curate an exhibit, and unfortunately it didn't come to fruition.
What were you gonna feature though, or what was the obstacles you faced, man?
Subject matter was gonna be mainly focused on hand styles, Cholo hand styles, Cholo lifestyle and culture. It was gonna be juxtaposed together, just for the sake of knowing where this writing comes from, so you can get a little bit of history of where this writing comes from and where it stems from.
And with that, it was in open welcome with open arms, or you faced what did happen?
Initially it was, and then just like as it got closer towards the opening, just started running across some obstacles. Some of the board members weren't really thrilled with featuring graffiti. They have a lot of people involved that just had no art literacy, and they came in with a lot of biased views, which didn't allow it to move forward.
Why is the Cholo writing, why does it have that perception, or like, why do you see it differently than, those people? Like,
well, they're focused a lot on the philosophy behind gangs and the lifestyle, which I understand. And as someone who works with at-risk youth, I understand that we need to be able to divert these kids to do something, a diversion program basically, to do something other than being conditioned by the location that they're born in or raised in or have to be living in, to be conditioned to be gang members. But there's still, what I wanted to do was focus on the discipline and aesthetics behind gang writing. I wasn't necessarily promoting the philosophy behind it.
But definitely the art side of the hand style that they do portray. One of the things you're telling me off there is just the straight lettering, like and how you said, the discipline it takes to do that. Right.
It takes practice. It's a craft, but at the same time, once you do pieces of art using this form of writing, they become art pieces.
And once we don't want to get it twisted. Like, he's not. That was just one show, because you've been involved in other shows. Let us just locations you've done other shows and other art you featured. They're not want to put like, Make's here to promote hand styles. That was just one show that you had done. What are some of the other shows you've done?
I curated the Rocking Show, which was a celebration of 20 years of Besk and I doing a piece at the Belmont Tunnel. I did a show in Mexico called Abriendo el Border, which was an effort to introduce Mexican artists to the graffiti world, because there's a lot of talented artists in Mexico, and just barely right now it's getting its recognition. Everyone was focused on Brazil, everyone was focused on Spain, Australia. So when we did Abriendo el Border, we did a tour of the history of graffiti Los Angeles book, and we did an exhibit out there. We did a graffiti expo with everybody from Mexico driving up to El DF to paint this cultural center, which was it was a 30-mile wall long. I mean, 30-mile long wall that everybody got together to paint. Wow. You had Mexican artists, you had the artists that we managed to go out there through our sponsors, and it was a great event, man.
Definitely. Like I said, I just want to, so when you're speaking of art, you kind of know a little bit.
I try to. I dib and dab.
Instagram at lovegalo, LOVEGALO. You're saying to teach, what do you teach, man? When you get these programs, what are we talking about, man?
I teach basically lettering in a form of typography. I call it urban typography, urban lettering, whatever's palatable to the school, and whatever's, it doesn't, not necessarily washing it down, but creating an opportunity to teach and use graffiti art that everybody's into, to help divert these kids into doing something positive.
With the art, why did you choose to take it that route?
I basically pried my way into the Unified School District. I have no academic background. I'm a high school dropout. I never took child development classes or anything like that. I started working at a nonprofit organization. Someone gave me an opportunity, and from there I developed a curriculum. I applied some of the skills that I had working as a manager, just kind of pretty much combined both ideas, and then I started promoting myself as a teacher. And eventually ended up going to LA Unified School District as an independent contractor.
That's fucking awesome. That's why we do these interviews right here for that side of the story. But people ain't gonna brag about that too much. You know what I mean? What they're doing, but damn, that's why we get the other stuff. You know what I mean? But definitely, man, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to bring that up organically in a regular conversation. You know?
Yeah, because I'd probably have a shirt with that shit, like, you know what I mean? Walking around like, this is what I do. But with that, man, how did growing up, obviously, in K-Town, you knew about the Cholo writing, but did you go in deeper to like study it or study even, more about that?
When we were kids, I never really took it upon me to study letters and stuff like that. So that stuff just came after. As I grew older, I'm like, you know what? I need to actually understand the composition of lettering, the letter structure, formation, and all that stuff. So then that's when I started studying, and that's when the appreciation of gang writing, Cholo writing, it broadened my mind up a little bit more, and I had a deeper appreciation for the writing. Yeah, and I grew up in K-Town, so I would see it in the K-Town area, but I would always hang out Pico Union area, and I was always hanging out like the park where the Radiotron was at, and I was attending Belmont and Virgil Junior High School. A lot of gangs.
Well, let's get into that though, man. What got you into graff then?
I've always liked letters. I like rock band logos. I like the lettering you found on board games, cereal boxes. So what I would do is I would take those rock band logos and duplicate them over and over on my peachy folder, on my notebook. That's all I would draw: AC/DC, Led Zeppelin, Van Halen, Iron Maiden, all that stuff. I would just draw it repeatedly over and over.
But you did like their music too, though.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. It's funny. It's funny you say that, because back then hip hop was really big. Not that rock wasn't, but I was what you call a closet rock listener, because I was a b-boy. But then, like, listening to Motley Crue, people were like, "What?" And then I was
that's like Shout at the Devil, Motley Crue, though.
Shout at the Devil, Motley Crue, yeah.
Damn, dog.
Yeah, and I was a huge, in 1984, huge Prince fan. So, and I liked all his artistry and all that stuff. I liked everything about Prince.
When what is it, 84? In the 80s, did you know that he played all the instrumentals and all that?
Yeah,
did you know
man.
that?
Oh yeah,
I learned that after, bro.
Yeah, I ditched school 3 days to go see Prince at the movie theater in MacArthur Park, bro. Yeah.
OGHuskyRadio.com, that real hip hop. But that's some real LA shit, man. Instagram at lovegalo, LOVEGALO. We got Make. Let me get all the crews right here. OTR, LOD, TNT, WC, STN, ER, AM7. Man, just in the spot live. With that, so b-boying to Graff, huh? That was a transition.
Yeah, well, I was drawing bubble letters, and I used to do little sweatshirts with the design markers and the compressed air, and excuse me. So then through hip hop and being a b-boy, that's when I was exposed to graffiti, because it was quote unquote the fourth element of hip hop, you know. And then so I was like, whoa, you know. Oddly enough, I was like, yo, man, I can actually do my own lettering.
Because you were doing the AC/DC, the
yeah,
Van Halen.
exactly.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, and naively enough, like I was like, whoa, I can actually do my own letters. I can create my own letters. I can create my own font, my own logos. And then that's when I took it. And that's when I started doing that. And then I met Krenz, which is my first major influence, who is Yem now. And then I also ended up meeting Rick and all the dudes from K2S and LA Bomb Squad, Shandu, Zone, Primo D, and all that stuff. And then I just started absorbing all their information.
All right, so coming from that era, then, man, your greatest memory of Radiotron and your greatest memory of Belmont, man.
The filming of Breaking at the movie at the Radiotron, and you know, we were kids going into an 18 and over club. We were like 14, 13, 15. And the Belmont Tunnel was just the first pieces that I saw on the concrete bare walls. Shandu, Risco City, Tricks, which is Crime 79, Street Patrol, you know, Javi, Primo D, again Risco, rest in peace. Those were the pieces that I first saw when I used to go on a bus to the Echo Park swimming pool. So between 5th and 6th period, they used to take me over there. And then we used to take that route, and I always just used to look out the window and just check out the pieces.
OGHuskyRadio.com, Instagram at lovegalo, LOVEGALO. Man, that's some good. This interview is fucking dope as fuck.
Thanks, man.
Is Graff political?
It can be and it can't.
How about for you? For
me, it isn't. For me, it's just for myself. For me, it's just a medium. Maybe I'll write like some snide little slogan here and there that may allude to something I believe in, but it's not necessarily. I don't use it for political purposes.
So there's no agenda.
There's no agenda behind it. For me, nah.
So then coming from Radiotron era to now, one of the things I've noted is that the pieces back in the days, kind of you could get a story from, or even from the 70s, the Chicano murals always told a story. I personally think when I go and I'm driving around through the city and I see legals now, it's pretty much let me just put up my name. Where did that change, or has it not changed, or what do you say about that?
I don't necessarily think it's changed, but I do have to say that some people, I think painters now are a little bit lazier. No one wants to do background. No one wants to come up with a theme. Everybody just wants to come in and do their name. It could very well have something to do with us being older. We just don't want to do the extra work or whatnot.
Yeah.
But I still see pieces with stories. I still see thematic, you know, productions, what we call productions, or burners. But yeah, normally what I like to do is I just like to paint. Occasionally I'll do a story, but normally I just like to paint my name.
Has the internet helped Graff?
No, man. I unfortunately have to say it's ruined it.
Whoa, break it down.
Well, back then we used to take the bus to go see a piece. We used to travel. We used to all the way to Orange County, let's say, for example, or all the way to San Fernando to see a piece that somebody did and take a photo of it. Photos of pieces were very rare, and now you can click anything on the internet and then, you know, and just see anybody paint. And you can just bite from that. You can copy from that. You get internet fame. So it's not the same.
Is there a Graff scene? Is there like we're kicking back, we're chilling? Or is that just some made up shit? Like, it's not even on that level. Like, it's just guys I grew up with, especially in your era. Like, now it's just guys that I kicked it and we painted. So we made it. Is there a scene?
A scene per se, like where everybody goes like, and hang out like a writer's bench. Not anymore, but I think now as crews, we do organize meetings and we do hang out. And, you know, we just cultivate our relationship.
What's up? And then also you'll be at the KGB studio this Saturday, 1640 Spring Street, from 3 to 9 p.m. What you got going on right there, man?
One of the guys, one of the homies, Gabe, he's the greatest of them all. He's putting an exhibit together, which is called The Greatest of Them All. It's a photography exhibit. They have a couple photographers in there. We did the whole production outside with a couple other invited artists. So that's going to be cracking this Saturday.
Make sure you guys roll out. $5 everyone donation, no VIP, no guest list, nothing. I don't even care if your photo's in there and you painted there. It's $5. Make sure you break bread. I want to thank you for coming through, man.
Thank you, man.
And definitely everything you've done to help the fourth element of hip hop. There's more than four. There's infinite elements.
Right.
So if you disagree with me, I just got a cosign from Make. So well, that's enough for me, man. Thank you for coming through, man.
Thank you, man.
OGHuskyRadio.com. Instagram at lovegalo, LOVEGALO. Stay posted, more interviews to come.
Cool.